in this new year, 2015, you have a lot of social media platforms and messaging platforms to choose from, whether it's on your phone or on your computer. In fact, for a lot of people, it's too much. You only have to pick a couple. And Mike Johansen has always been so good at kind of helping us decide which ones are best for us, because they meet a certain need. And Mike, we were reading an article recently, and it was saying that social media has stopped evolving. That was the big claim.
Yeah.
And that messaging apps are really coming, they're on the rise. What do you think about that?
I think it's true. In a sense, people are starting to realize that, you know, these one-stop shopping things like Facebook and so forth, they become a huge time suck, and you really lose track of things. You know, if you haven't connected with people in a little while, they fall way down in the news feed and you really just don't see anything. They're not a great place for one-to-one interpersonal communication. These other apps, messaging apps, things like Snapchat, you know, they have one purpose, they have one thing to do, are getting really popular. And that's because you go there, you have one thing to do, you do it, and 30 seconds later you move on to something else. So I think, in a sense, social media, or at least the broad platforms in social media, may have hit their zenith. You know.
So having said that, then one must ask, well, then what is the next thing? What you know, we know that these messaging apps are going to be popular. So WhatsApp is also really good. Snapchat. What do you foresee? And things that maybe aren't such big time sucks, like you said. Sure.
Well, I think a lot of what they call niche apps are the way that things go. For example, for the last 6 months, I've been using one called Untappd, UNTAPP. No ED, developed by 3 Syracuse University students 3 years ago, just for beer drinkers.
Just for beer drinkers?
Yeah, and you go in there and you register a beer that you're drinking and what you rate it, and then if you go somewhere to a bar or restaurant, you can see what people have rated as the best stout or the best porter or the best lager. You want to get my Christmas beer shopping this year was wonderful. I just went down the list of all the beers I wanted to try and found them, and it was great. But there's one for wine drinkers, there's foodies, restaurants, things like Yelp, where you can literally find a restaurant that other people like in a close proximity to where you are. So these niche apps, I think, are really going to start to bloom.
And Instagram, I heard last year that it's going to take over. It's going to outstep even Facebook. What do you think about that?
I think we're all very visually oriented, and the nice thing about Instagram is it's not a huge time commitment. I mean, you take a picture, you share it. If you have a little time, you look at everyone else's grams and you can like them and you know, comment on them. But it really is a very quick, and it's almost a niche thing in itself.
What I don't understand, I'm sorry, I'm trying to cut you off here, but Instagram, I don't get it, because Facebook does Instagram plus so much more. I'm surprised that Instagram isn't the most popular and just blows, Twitter doesn't blow Instagram out of the water.
Again, I think it's because the perception of how much time these things take.
Yeah.
I think it feels, when I sit down to Facebook, it feels like I'm making a time commitment. Because I know it's going to be 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't always have 20 or 30 minutes.
Right. We're going to take a break right now and come back to discuss more about this. This is such wonderful stuff to digest, but we'll take a break and come back and we'll talk more with Mike Johansen about what you will see in social media in 2015.